A little while ago, I uploaded a video where I talked about consumerism and materialism in regards to pen, and I encouraged all viewers to look at what you can create and do with your pen instead of just buying a pen and thinking it's cool. I never really talked about what I do with the pens. Now, I will admit, before I even show you this, I haven't been working as hard on this summer because this is my other project. What you can't see is that I have a freshly painted house. I have painted the whole outside by myself. I have walled up a bedroom door. I'm in the process of painting the living room. I have already painted the bedroom. And so there's a lot of other things going on this summer. But here is what I've been working on. Since I was probably, I'm getting this up, since I was probably in 3rd grade, something like that, I actually started writing novels. I was watching, what was it, Scooby-Doo? Some kind of Scooby-Doo. And I didn't like how one of the shows turned out. So I thought, well, I could write my own thing. And I did. And then I went on, as I matured, to basically plagiarize Doctor Who, except I called my guy the Time Traveler. Then I went on to plagiarize Star Trek. And somewhere about 8th grade, I decided to create my own thing. And I started writing a murder mystery set in the 1920s in Minnesota. And it was my own thing. It wasn't very good, but there you go. And then, after that, I kind of gave up on writing for a while, but then on in through high school, I started writing again, and I created my own science fiction universe. And I'm now 38. Dates me. Over those intervening years, from high school on to age 38, I have actually written a total of 10 novels set in the science fiction universe. Now, let's talk quality first. The early stuff wasn't very good. I learned a lot, I developed my universe, and after number 9, I pretty much decided I'm a failure as a writer, and I need to focus my efforts on teaching because I'll never make it as a writer. I just can't write. But the bug bit me again a couple years ago, and I almost started writing. Because I've had this idea in my head since probably 8th grade, actually, by a weird coincidence. Because I remember sitting in the dining room at my parents' house as a kid, and it was at our old house, so I know I was 8th grade or younger, and looking at National Geographic and reading an article about shipbreaking. Now, if you don't know what that is, quick thumbnail sketch, shipbreaking happens when the ships get old, ocean ships. They have to be disposed of somehow. So what happens in our world is they end up in third world countries like India, Pakistan, Turkey, and they get torn apart by people who are working without the benefit of much in the way of safety gear or any kind of protection. So next time you buy something, think about where's it going to end up at the end of its life. These places are, pardon my French here, hellholes. These are not nice places to work. They're not nice places to live. They're dangerous. People get nasty injuries all the time. It's horrible. Anyway, as an 8th grader, or whatever I was, this kind of stuck in my head, but I never tried writing a book about it. So I guess I was 36 when I got this bug again. I thought, I'm going to write a book. And I almost set pen to paper, but then I thought, no, why have you written 9 really crappy novels? And I almost gave up again, but that idea was so strong in my head. I mean, I had a character and everything. And I said, you know what? Do something different. Instead of just sitting down and writing, plan. I mean, I'm a teacher. That's why I've had the summer to do this kind of stuff. I normally work in the summer, but this summer I didn't have that. Anyway, so I said, you always plan your lessons. Why don't you plan your book? So I sat down. And actually I spent probably about a year planning, brainstorming. Anytime an idea came to my head, writing it down. I figured out my character. I figured out his family, his background, the other characters, their backgrounds, the setting. I really fleshed out my universe and the technology and the science in it because it's science fiction. So they're breaking spaceships, not ocean ships, obviously. And anyway, I started writing. So now at age 36, or no, I'm 38 now, sorry. I have this much. This is all handwritten, except there's an envelope there for some reason. It's not related. This is all either rough draft of the novel or stuff that was in my head that I sketched out on in the notes. Most of it's fountain pen, except for I did type up the outline, so a really thin piece of that. Where is it? Well, who cares? Anyway, a really thin piece of that is a typed outline. But I'm now on the third draft of the novel. Draft number 3 is no longer handwritten, it is now typed. I'm getting pretty excited about it. I'm still excited. It's the first time I ever made it to a second draft. Let's be honest here. First time I ever made it to a third draft, though. The first time I finished a novel and was still excited about it. So we'll see where it goes. Like I said, this has eaten up more of my time than I expected, but you know what? I have to do this kind of stuff too, because I actually had a revelation about my book while painting. So I would just, by the way, side note, any of you out there who are writers or artists of any kind, do different things. Actually, I don't care what you are. Do different things. Freshen up your perspective. I mean, I teach physics, math, chemistry, biology, all that stuff during the winter. So doing physical labor like painting a house, digging a garden, installing drywall, getting rid of a door, all that's not what I do all winter. So this has been great for me to just do something different. But I said this inspired me. Well, besides the different, I'll give you a quick idea about the book. The hero of the book is crippled. He was injured when he was 8 years old because, just like in a lot of these real shipbreaking yards, he was working as a child, and he was injured. He's a little fuzzy about the details because it took him by surprise, but his legs ended up getting smashed. He can walk, just not very well. He has to wear leg braces and he uses crutches to get around. He doesn't move very fast, but he can get around. Had to, because it's not the kind of planet where you want to be crippled. But anyway, I was up on the ladder painting the outside of my house. My house isn't very big, so I wasn't up real high. Felt high to me because I don't like being on ladders, so I will never come paint your house. The only person's house I'm painting is mine, and I heart pounding the whole time I'm up on the ladder. But anyway, I was standing up there painting, and I thought to myself, I don't think he can do this. Because I had a scene where he was up painting the side of the church that is in the book. And it's kind of fun to realize that he couldn't do that. But anyway, luckily he's not a real person, so I guess I can make fun of him all I want. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that's something that I've created. I'm creating a book. Hopefully this will be published someday. Hopefully when it gets closer to being published, if it happens, I'll make some more intelligent comments about it. But that's an example of something you can create. That's something I create. I have a whole science fiction universe designed. The technology, the civilizations, religion. I get across, because I've mentioned I'm Christian, even though this isn't a religious channel, I get across my Christian perspective in my writing. So anyway, create, because here's the fun thing about books. I used to be a little kid. When I was in first grade, I think, first or second grade, I don't remember. Anyway, first or second grade, whatever it was, my father started reading Lord of the Rings to my brother and I. Then he went off to a meeting with his job, and my mother tried continuing it. But she wasn't very good at it. She just didn't do it the way my father did. And he'd gotten to that scene, sorry if this is a spoiler, where Gandalf gets yanked off the bridge by the Balrog. And of course, not a good place to be left hanging. So I picked up the book and started reading it on my own. Now, that's magical to engage somebody like that. I created a world by reading a book, because that's what you do when you read. You create a world. It's a partnership between the author and you. I could describe my main character to you all I want, but you and I are going to have a different character in our head, so I'm rambling now. But anyway, where I was headed with this. Books really do influence us because we engage with them. We have to. It's not like TV where it's easy to just, you're doing that to me right now because I've been going for 10 minutes and 12 seconds like this. But with books, we engage. Books can really inform us. They can help us see a new world that maybe we will never see ourselves. Honestly, I'm never going to deal with a Balrog in my life. I would get scared and run away before I had to face a Balrog. And they're made up, I know. But shipbreaking, most of us are never going to encounter a shipbreaking yard, and a lot of people I've mentioned this book to had no idea what happens to a ship after it gets worn out. They just kind of assume they go away somewhere. Well, it's kind of nice to know. Of course, in my book, I have to express my religious faith. So anyway, I'm creating something that hopefully will make somebody's world better. Even if it just entertains them for a while, that's a worthy goal. If it gets them thinking about shipbreaking, gets them thinking, oh, all this stuff gets wasted. Oh, I don't want that. I want it to, be reused. Or, boy, I didn't know that people live in those kind of conditions, and my wealth creates those conditions for those people. Whatever it is. And my book really, the shipbreaking is the setting, but it's not like a activist type of book. But my point is, you can create, this is what I've created, and there's 9 more really bad ones in the basement that I've also created. So get out and create. So I've rambled long enough, so I'm going to close now. But I just thought it'd be fun to show you something I've created, and maybe in another couple of weeks I'll actually talk about the book a little bit. So you all have a good day. I'm going to go turn the fan on because if you can't tell, I am sweating because it is really hot in here and I don't have air conditioning. So have a good day.